Hello, everyone. I am the Dynamite Doll, and you are watching episode 29 of Dirt with the Doll. My guest today is Brian Blair. He is one half of the Killer Bees and the president of the Cauliflower Alley Club. Welcome to the Dollhouse. How are you today, Brian?
I am doing awesome, Bronwyn, and I just am messaging. You do remember Tony Atlas?
I
Uh,
sure do.
so I'm telling him that I'm going to call him back after this very important podcast.
Aw. Yeah, I
But
just got to meet him. I got to meet you at 80s Wrestling Con in New Jersey, and Tony Atlas was there as well, and you both were amazing. So I'm honored to have you here. While I've been traveling, petitioning to get my dad in the WWE Hall of Fame, it has been so wonderful to meet a bunch of his old colleagues and
Mm,
people like you. When I met you, you really touched my heart. You said, I feel like we're one big wrestling family, and Harry is like a son to me, and I'm like a daughter to you. And you have no idea how much that meant to me. So I'm just so honored to have you here today.
oh, well, thank you, Bronwyn. It's so true too. I mean, in the wrestling business, you become a very close, especially more so, I believe, in the territory days and the days in Japan when you were together every single day, when you were either in a hotel room, in a bus, in a car. I mean, we were together constantly over 300 days a year. And, now the workload isn't as much. Guys are flying a lot more. And I don't think the camaraderie is nearly as close. I mean, there's people that get close, but it was
Yeah.
like all of us were close, and we realized that, as you mentioned, Bronwyn, we're a family, and I feel like you and Harry and Georgia, and just all of my friends, children. You're about my children's age, and
Yeah.
it's a very close knit family. But I
Yeah.
first I first met your dad in Japan, and what a talent! I mean, he had some of the most amazing matches with Tiger Mask, and we're talking back in the early '80s. Some of the most amazing matches, and we became really good friends. He liked my work, I liked his work. We just had a big mutual respect. Finally met again in the WWF/E, and gosh, what amazing times.
Yeah, no kidding. So were you, when you were in Japan, were you wrestling as the Killer Bees or were you doing solo work out there?
No, I was doing solo work. I was just Brian Blair, then be Brian Blair.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, my
it's,
dad loved Japan, but I mean, I grew up a lot of my life. He was always on the road, like you mentioned. The schedule was what much crazier back then,
mm,
and my parents split at a pretty young age. He went back to England, so a large portion of my life I didn't have my father, close by. So when I meet people like you and you have so much positive things to say about my father, it's just really, what I've been searching for and doing this journey. I'm getting a lot more of that. So I'm really blessed and happy to hear those positive stories that I didn't always get to hear growing up.
yeah, and Dynamite didn't hide the fact that he had a daughter, and he was, believe me, he was proud of you. And
Yeah.
I don't want to cry on your show, but
Oh,
he was so he had that English sense of humor,
hmm.
which I often found more witty than the American sense of humor. It was, you got to get used to it. It's different,
Yes,
but you're
definitely.
with somebody so long, it's refreshing, and I just enjoyed the how Dynamite could take away when we were together. Tommy, I would call it. But when I was with Tommy, he would let the guard down and open up his heart, which I found that a lot of the guys, for some reason, it's like a lot of the guys really would open up to me, and because I would open up to them, and we would have some great personal conversations, far deeper than wrestling.
Yeah.
So,
And that would be why he would open up to you because you are a good man. I could tell immediately when I met you.
uh,
We've emailed a few times before about Cauliflower Alley. And then when I met you in person, I was like, oh, he's absolutely amazing. And my mom was like, oh, what an amazing man. And I'm like, Mom, why didn't you tell me? Like she knows all of you guys and once I tell her, oh, I met him, and she's like, oh, he's so amazing. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that before? But I got to
Well,
learn for myself. So it's been really fun doing all these conventions and meeting everyone.
yeah, those are fun. I mean, I love meeting the fans. We would never be here without the wrestling fans. So
That's
I
true.
bend over backwards to try to make sure that everybody's happy when we go to the meet and greets and
That's
answer
important.
their questions. And I
Yeah.
really, truly am grateful to meet them and for them to ask me to sign things or take a picture with them. It's a real blessing. I look at it every day. I remember when I was a little kid, when I first went to Big People's Church, and the sermon was on not to get religious, but the sermon was on the power of prayer. I'm sitting there probably, I don't know, 9 years old or so, 8, 9 years old, and in Gary, Indiana. And the preacher said, at a Lutheran church, he said, if you're a good person, if you're a righteous person, God's going to answer your prayer. Might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but God will answer your prayer on His terms. He Be a good person, be a righteous person, and pray earnestly. So that really hit me,
Okay.
and I didn't know what to pray for, and I kept thinking, well, what do I do? I want $1 million. No, they'll
Yeah.
take that away from me. I want 2 Corvettes, and I can't drive. And finally, I prayed to be Superman. And I prayed and prayed and prayed to be Superman. And lo and behold, to make a long story short, even though this kid, Billy Kempinski, told me, you'll never be Superman. He's a fictitious character that lives on television and he's got a costume, da 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 da. And lo and behold, what happened? I could leapfrog a man with a single bound,
Yeah.
hit the ropes like a speeding bullet, have a 300-pound man jump in my chest, and be here to talk to Bronwyn today.
Wow, that's super cool. And you have a comic as well, right? You guys were in had some comics?
Oh, we've had all kinds of stuff. We've
Yeah.
had comics, books. We did Toyota commercials. We were, as the Killer Bees, we were, golly, we did so much from WrestleMania 2,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, the big event, the first Royal Rumble, the first Survivor Series. So just on and on and on and on. It was a
Yeah.
great career.
Yeah. So taking it back all the way to when you're a high school student, you were voted the best all around. Fast forward
Oh,
to
wow.
2004, you were a Hillsborough County Commissioner. You're a
Mhm.
member of the Pro Wrestling, you told me this morning, actually, Hall of Fame in Iowa, which I didn't know, and the
Yes,
MMA Hall of Fame in Florida. So
yes.
it's clear to me now you'd be president of the Cauliflower Alley, such a prestigious company. I
Well,
love hearing stories like yours because have so much more than wrestling. A lot of times these old workers will fall back on they have nothing to fall back on. So I love meeting people like you and hearing all the different things that you've done with your life and that you're still involved in. I just think that's really great.
well, thank you, Bronwyn. I enjoy giving back. I always have. When I was in wrestling, I always wanted to make sure the fans got their money's worth. I wanted to make sure that whether there was 100 people um, or 10,000 people or 50,000 people, I wanted to wrestle as hard as I could and give them their money's worth. When I was a business owner and owned Gold's Gyms, I wanted to make sure that each member had an opportunity to succeed, that we had a clean gym and everything, the prices were fair, and that my employees gave them excellent customer service.
Yeah.
Then I became a county commissioner countywide in Hillsborough County, which is actually larger than 11 other states. So it's like running for governor in
Wow.
11 other states. And, that's giving back. I actually have an award up here for saving the taxpayers over $5 billion in a 4-year period, which is a pretty good savings. And
No kidding.
and so then I they asked me, God, what was it, 2014, I guess, yeah, beginning of 2014, to be if I would take over as the president for the Cauliflower Alley Club, and I had to think about it a little bit, and as long as I had some control, if I was going to put my name on it, because I've been a
You want to be
successful
proud of it.
business person, and I don't want to, you know, have somebody stealing or doing something nefarious that's going to, give me a bad name. So they allowed me to be the CEO as well. So being the chief executive officer of a 501c3 that serves the entire world. We give money to people in Japan, Mexico, all over the United States. We've helped numerous talent. We've Since I've been president, Bronwyn, we've given away over $1 million
That's
to.
wonderful.
Yeah, it really is. When you have people, just recently, Sammy Anoy just made a nice post thanking the Cauliflower Alley Club. Marty Jannetty just did. Brian Knobs, who's God,
Yeah.
bad fortune sometimes falls on people with good intentions, and that's why the Cauliflower Alley Club is there. And actually, I don't know if you ever heard this, but Jesse Ventura and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, one half of the Killer Bees, tried to start a union
Yeah.
for Vince, but they both got a couple weeks off, fined, no pay, and got on Vince's crap list, let's call it. And it was not a good time. I told him that, there's no way unless you get Hulkster, Macho, everybody else, we get Bulldogs, we get everybody. We can't. It's
Yeah.
just not going to work. But they wouldn't listen. And it is what it is. But that's kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing now because, we aren't a union, but we give back. We kind of take the place by giving people benefits when they actually need them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't wait to attend my first year this year. We'll
Mm.
we'll get into that a little later, but I'm just gonna jump back here to you've had a very lengthy career as an athlete. It started off with football and turned into wrestling, which is often the case for a lot of wrestlers. What skills translate so easily, do you think, from one sport to the other?
What skills? Coordination, balance, timing. Those are all very important skills that
Yeah.
translate into success. Of course, in wrestling, you have to have charisma. Uh, Most of all, Bronwyn, you have to have passion.
Yeah.
You can overcome a lot of lack of skills if you have a lot of passion, a lot of heart, a lot of desire. And if you really put your mind to things, you can do whatever you want to do.
It's true. Even if you look ridiculous, but you are trying,
Hey,
you just gotta push through that self-confidence, layer and just be passionate. Yeah. Give it your all and you'll get there. So I agree
exactly,
with that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
How did wrestling compare to football? What are the biggest differences within the environment?
Well, football is a team. You've got 11 players on, yeah, at any given time on the field, and wrestling, unless you're in a battle royal or you're still, it's mano a mano. You know, it's more of a singles. Even in a tag team, you
Yeah.
have to perform. In a tag team, you have to rely a lot on your partner. It's probably the closest thing to a team sport, to football. But it's a lot easier with one person to be on the same page than it is with 11 people.
Yeah. So do you find the bonds would be closer on a football team with your teammates or within the wrestling locker room?
Oh, within the wrestling locker room for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you're traveling together more, those long road trips, flights, airports, hotels.
Yeah, and the infamous bus trips especially for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I remember our bus driver Akasaka, and he was a great guy. And the bus trips were amazing. We were on, I think, Tommy and I, Dynamite we were on a 6 week tour together. It's That's a
Mhm.
long time, in a foreign country in Japan, going to all these different little towns, but it's such an amazing experience. Amazing.
Yeah. So would you sleep on the bus or what's the
No, no,
okay. That doesn't sound
we
comfortable.
in Shinjuku in Tokyo, we'd stay at the Kyo Plaza, which is like a 5-star hotel, king size bed, regular toilet, a Western toilet, not a benjo where there's benjo's like a hole in the floor. You got to squat down. But, uh, all the amenities of home there. But when you leave Tokyo, then, unless you're in a Nagoya, or if you're in a big city, if you go up north to Sapporo, there's a few nice hotels, but you go to these little towns, Amami, or these, when you get down south to Okinawa, there's a lot of these small little towns. I remember real quick, we went to this little town where they made these wooden dolls, and Big John Studd was on the tour, and Mr. Wonderful. Tommy wasn't on this tour; he was on the tour before, but Big John Studd was a character, and and we went into this hotel room talking about Odyssey, and I got out of the bus first, so I go up to the room, and I can't find the light anywhere, and it's so dark. I can't find the light, and it's in the most peculiar place. It's like in the bathroom. You have to go like in.
Walk through the whole thing.
Yeah, to find the light. So I hear Big John Studd saying, "Where's the light? Where's the light?" screaming down the hall. And I said, "It's under the bed. It's under the bed." And I was just kidding, just off the top of my head, something to say. And these are the kind of things you do in Japan just to kill the time. All of a sudden, I hear, big loud scream. He's screaming, and everybody comes running out. And John's stuck under the bed, and he can't get out of the bed. It took 3 of us to pull him out from underneath the bed because his back was messed up. Oh gosh, just
look what you caused.
I don't know why I remembered that, but I just did.
That's hilarious. Yeah, my dad loved Japan as well, and he would always come home with gifts for us, and he'd always bring me Hello Kitty gifts, and still to this day I'm obsessed with Hello Kitty. So it just reminds me of, the nostalgia of that, and it reminds me of my father. So big Hello Kitty fan. I got a tattoo on my hand.
Awesome. That's cool. My kids always wanted Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah, well, because you have boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's take it to the 1980s WWF days, the Killer Bees with you and Jim Brunzell. What are your fondest memories of those times?
Oh, there are so many. I don't know where to start. Probably WrestleMania 3 is one of the highlights of our career, although I didn't like the finish and what had happened. But by this time, there was a lot of heat with Jim and Vince, and over a few different issues besides the union. I didn't know that Jimmy sued Vince and won before we even became a tag team, and over action figures that were produced in the AWA. So when I went there, when I got with Jim, I didn't know that. And we were promised the belts before we even got in there, because I had worked for Vince Sr., and I was going to come back and work for the Intercontinental title. And then I got a call. Hulkster and Vince were in the office. They said, "Hey, we want to put you and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell together. Do you know Jumpin' Jim?" And I said, "No, I know who he is from the magazines, Bill Apter and George Napataliano. Those guys would, Bill Apter will be at the CAC, by the way."
Yes, Uncle Bill.
Yeah. And anyway, I didn't know who Jimmy was, met him, got along fantastic. And we still get along to this day. You were kind of opposites in a lot of ways, but sometimes opposites attract.
Yeah.
And, I get along with just about anybody. As long as you're not a thief, I don't like liars, and I don't like thieves. So as long as you, stay fairly honest, I mean, everybody's going to, I don't care if somebody exaggerates a little bit around me, but I don't want them to, tell me my pants are blue when I know they're white, and they're, I don't like bold-faced lies. And I really can't stand a thief. Ask me for something if you want it. But anyway, fortunately, we didn't have a lot of thieves. And I never, ever got anything stolen out of a dressing room until I went to New Jersey about I would say in like 2017 it was, and I worked for a guy there. Tito Santana was on the card, and these two kids stole my Rolex watch.
Wow.
New kids. I mean,
That's
I was
terrible.
so peeved about that, but
Yeah.
so be it. It's a material thing,
And
and
you never were able to relocate it?
no, 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 never
Wow.
did. No insurance, nothing. So I ate that, and but again, it's a material thing. We
Yeah.
shouldn't really.
It's just crazy you went so many years and then
Yeah,
2017, New Jersey, 2 young
yeah,
kids.
yep, yep,
Awful.
yeah. Because the newer kids, they don't have the respect that we had then. We all knew that we were going to be held accountable, and I don't know. Things have changed in one way. Some of it for the better, some of it not for the better. But it's definitely changed. Whether it's the product or whether it's the attitude in the locker rooms, it's all
Yeah,
changed.
definitely.
Hmm.
So the tag team division was pretty stacked back then. Are you happy you were placed in a team overall, or would you have preferred solo in the
Uh,
80s in
I
WWF?
guess there's an old saying: never brag about tomorrow until tomorrow comes. And maybe if I went back and changed the past and did as I thought I was going to do and
Yeah,
worked as a single for the Intercontinental title, I would have might not have ever had the opportunities. Only God knows that.
yeah. Things
And
might have not been the same.
yeah, I mean, we were very, very successful, and we had a lot of wonderful, wonderful opportunities from being on the first tour in Australia, and you know, George Thorogood from the Delaware Destroyers. I don't know, that may be before your time, but I don't know if you ever heard of
Uh,
George Thorogood, but
this sounds a little
Bad
bit
to the
familiar.
Bone, that song, Bad to the Bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So he was a big Killer Bee fan, and
Oh, okay.
so he just hung around us the whole tour there, and we went to see the koala bears, the kangaroos. Then I met a group called Los Lobos. Um, Jim Brunzell is a big music fan. He's a diehard Bruce Springsteen fan.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
Yeah, Bruce is he's got good music. But anyway,
Mhm.
but Jimmy was a great partner to have. He was a high jumping champion. Jimmy could jump and throw a drop kick like nobody I've ever seen. In the big event in Toronto, we were on the front page of the Toronto Sun newspaper, which I don't usually give wrestling that kind of coverage. And it was a picture of Jimmy. I was just standing on the apron, but Jimmy was drop kicking Dory Funk Jr. And I mean, he was coming down on
Yeah.
Dory Funk Jr., who was 6'2" at the time. That's how high in the air he was. It's an amazing picture.
Oh, I love
And
those action shots.
yes, yes, yes. So, Jimmy was a great partner to have. And again, we had great success.
Yeah.
They, they would just tell us, I'd tell George Scott, who actually fired Jimmy before he got the booking job for Vince. I mean, it was like everything was stacked against us. And, but again, I wouldn't change a thing to answer um, the beginning of your question.
Yeah.
And Jim was a great tag team partner,
And a lifelong friend.
lifelong friend. Yes, I
Yeah.
look forward. I'll probably stay with him rather than in a hotel room. Him and Mary when I get to Minnesota next month. Are you there?
Oh, perfect. No, I won't be there. No, I'm taking the summer off, just spending it with my little one. I have two daughters. One just graduated high school, and the other one is 7
What?
next month.
You
Yeah.
look like you just graduated high school.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
Wow,
But
that's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. But no,
That
I'm
really,
42, so
wow,
I had her
wow.
at a decent age.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just spending the summer with the girls, and then Cauliflower Alley will be my next event.
Oh, that's awesome. You're going to have such a good time. Cauliflower Alley Club is an absolute blast. I mean, we don't really advertise the wrestling matches that much because they're like a separate entity, but they're in the Plaza Hotel and Casino. And by
Yeah.
the way, anybody can come to the Cauliflower Alley Club and but you have to be a member, can come to our reunion. And this is the big 60.
Yeah.
So you could go to caulifloweralleyclub.org, and for $35, you can become a member
Yeah.
For a year, or $400 for a lifetime. I think it's a little more in Canada or other places, because we send out 3 or 4 issues of our newsletter, The Ear, and Vance Nevada, one of our executive board members, he's the publisher of that. And all the old timers never wanted to go to digital, but I guess, I'm kind of like the new generation as well. I'd rather just go to my computer and look at it right there. It's right at your fingertips. So he's digitalized every single ear, just about everyone. And so you can either get a digital ear, or you can get a hard paper copy, and that's included in your membership. Plus you get to come to the reunion. And, again, we're like a family. That's why we make sure we have members. That way, if somebody's a butthead, we don't allow them there. I mean, we just kick them out. We don't want any heads there. If you're not a nice person, please don't even apply. But we welcome you, and the mission is amazing. As we mentioned a little before, we help so many people, but it's so affordable, Bronwyn.
Yeah.
I mean, $43 for a hotel room with no resort fees, $43 plus tax, and that's it. No, every other place in Vegas charges anywhere from a $25 to $35, sometimes $50 resort fee. So
I was excited to hear that was part of the membership package. So we'll be booking our hotel and all that.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my longtime friend and the executive vice president, Rich Engling, who recently passed.
I saw that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. He worked for 5 hard years, and he was very instrumental in getting rid of those fees, the resort fees.
I'm pretty sure I had corresponded through email with him as well, and I just saw that he passed away. So sorry for your loss.
Yeah, we'll all miss him. But you also, the entire event only costs $160, and that includes 2 awesome meals and awards nights. So we've got some tremendous honorees. People, it's like amazing how many people just throw their hat in that want to be honored every year. And we take advice from our life members. They all vote. And we just kind of go down the line in each category. But we've got some tremendous honorees this year. Bret Hart will be there. Natty Hart. We've got Psychosis for Lucha Libre Award. And I think a really cool thing is Leilani Kai and Judy Martin, the Glamour Girls. They're going to be the first women ever to receive the Tag Team Award.
I'm very excited for that. I got to meet them as well at the first 80s con I went to, and they were really excited to meet me as well. And
I'm sure
had lots to say about my dad. And again, I'm like surprised when I hear this, because I just never got to grow up hearing these things. And so it was just really, and I really loved hearing it from women as well. The Jumping Bomb Angels said the same thing. Your dad always looked out for us. Him and Davey always protected us. And it's just been so great to hear those. So I'm excited for them, the Glamour Girls. You got Dan Spivey, who was also one of my dad's really great friends, and I just met him as well, and that was awesome. Bill Apter, like we mentioned, he's getting the what is the Art Abrams Lifetime Achievement Award, which is so wonderful for him.
Yes, absolutely. And Dan Murphy will get the the James Melby award. To me, the historians are very, very important. We don't look at them that much, as like such a big deal, but they really are, because they preserve the history. Dan Murphy could tell you everything you wanted to know as far as wrestling goes, nothing personal, but as far as your dad's career.
Dates.
I mean, from beginning, from everything. I hope you take the opportunity to meet Dan Murphy because he's a wealth of knowledge. He's an encyclopedia. He could tell you, Dynamite Davy, everybody. And so there's some great awards. You can't have a match without a referee. Jimmy Corderas, who
Yes.
refereed many of our matches.
Also Canadian.
Yeah. Well, we always have a lot of Canadians.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, good.
I can wrestling. Natty Neidhart will be there.
Yeah. It's really turning out to be a family affair for me. I'm gonna have Uncle Brett and Natty and
TJ will
Justin
be there.
Race is like a brother to me. Bill, I call Bill after an uncle, so I'm like, oh, it's just the whole family.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. I'm so glad that we finally met as well, and
me too.
I, I'm really excited about you being there. You're going to have just a wonderful, wonderful time. It's
Yeah, it's
it's
gonna be
really
great.
when you go to the CAC reunions, Bronwyn, they're addicting. It's almost I don't want to call it crack,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. It's like
like it's just a feel good
it's
weekend,
like
right?
you feel great afterwards. You kind of won't want to
And you're
leave.
giving. Yeah.
It doesn't matter whatever you want to do. It's like we're right on Fremont Street. Have you ever been to Fremont Street?
Oh, it is Fremont. Yeah, I love Fremont. That's the
Right
best part.
on Fremont Street, and that's like Bourbon Street on steroids.
Oh,
It's
I
like
didn't realize it was on Fremont. That's even better.
yeah, it's right there. So
Yeah.
wow. I mean, if you want to zip line, and they just
Nope, not my
invested
thing.
a lot of money into Fremont Street. If you haven't been there lately, they invested a ton of money. I don't know how many millions in the
Yeah, I
light.
was just there in April.
Oh, okay, for
Yeah, yeah,
WrestleMania. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so
That's great.
a lot of good things happening though, and we have seminars. We'll be premiering Monday night is going to premiere the documentary Beyond Kayfabe. It's all about the CAC,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
it's going to be an amazing documentary. I
Oh, I
mean,
think the Glamour Girls were recording for that. I believe I saw them post something about that.
yes, they did.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
I mean, Mick Foley. God, just DDP is being filmed next. He's the final person going in there. DDP is a big supporter of ours, and uh, anyway, uh, um, excuse me. Brian Hobbs, poor guy. I don't know how he can. He's just had a lot of health problems, and
I know. I've spoken to him because he was also friends with my father and
oh yeah,
trying to get
I,
him on the podcast. And like, he's just doesn't feel ready right now, but wish him all the best. And I'm always sharing his GoFundMe and everything like that. So,
yeah, we've helped Brian a lot. I mean, the CAC has really helped him a lot. Unfortunately, when you can't work and his wife is ill too, it's an ongoing
yeah.
financial thing. So, he
Yeah.
needs help from all over. And um, Jimmy Hart and I are getting ready to do some things to get him into a house.
Yes. Yes.
So,
That's what he needs. So, what is your favorite part of the Cauliflower Alley weekend?
um, watching the honorees acceptance speeches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Absolutely.
favorite part
So the
because
wrestling, is that like do you guys put it on or is it just like a local promotion that puts on the wrestling portion or
yeah, it's a local it's Sin Bodie. You ever heard of Sin Bodie?
no, I haven't.
He's a great guy. He does this thing called on the fly. So all the talent, he goes to various people. It's all 100% shoot. He goes seriously. They go to people in the audience,
Yeah.
and they pick the opponents. So nobody knows who they're going to work with. So that's why it's called on the fly. They
Oh
go
wow.
out in the ring, which is a great thing because that's how we used to have to do it.
Yeah.
There was no scripts, no writers, none of this kind of crap. You knew what you were doing. You were a pro, and
Yeah.
and Sin teaches them like that. And a guy named Chris, he has he's a worker as well, talent as well, and I can't think of his last name, but yeah, they put it on together and they do a tremendous job.
Oh great. Yeah, I didn't realize there was wrestling until I read that yesterday. So I look forward to that as well.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's Sunday. Then again, the documentary Monday. Then Tuesday and Wednesday are award dinner nights, and the food's to serve a packed crowd of 500 people just in the audience right there. I mean, serve 500 people and still have your food hot. That's a pretty good deal. And
Yeah,
not only
no
hot,
kidding. Because I've been
generally,
to some weddings where
really
that
good.
doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's a real balancing act.
Yeah.
But
So you get
we also have the nostalgia room that's open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. on Wednesday, 10 to 3 on Wednesday. But all kinds of talent will be selling merchandise. CAC will have merchandise. There's things that you can bid on for our silent auction. We have different vendors there, different things going on. There's cribbage tournaments for people that
nice.
like to play. I don't even know how to play cribbage, but a lot of people like it. And Bob Orton Jr. loves it. He's the like
Yeah.
he lost last year for like the first time in 4 years. And oh gosh, it's funny.
Does he wear his hat and everything? Cowboy hat?
Sometimes
Yeah,
he does, but
that's
it's
cute.
there's a
Aw,
lot of talent there, a lot of boys and girls there.
a fun
And
weekend.
yeah, it's a fun weekend. But and then we also we raffle off a custom made belt by Legacy Belts, and it has all the honorees on it. It'll have the 60th reunion. It's a beautiful belt. I mean, if you just bought the belt, it would be at least $1,000. I mean, it's really nice. And
Yeah.
so we raffle that. And this year there's a raffle contest. Another one of our executive board members, Darla Staggs, Vance Nevada, as I mentioned, David Lawson does a tremendous job with the videos and all of our tech stuff, and Ricky Santana puts together some great seminars. I mean, we've got some awesome seminars coming up as well, and all that's included with your reunion ticket.
Yeah.
But um,
Yeah, because you just pay the 160 and then you get to go the whole weekend? Is that how it works?
yeah, 160
Okay.
bucks.
Yeah, that's totally worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't include raffle tickets
Yeah.
or if you want to
Yeah.
buy something, obviously. But so bring your credit card or your cash or whatever. And remember, every dollar goes to help the mission statement. That's what it's all about, Bronwyn. It's all
Yeah.
about helping our colleagues. Like we discussed a little earlier, we have no union. We have the talent has, and look at, it doesn't have to be, it's not just old timers. Look at Chris Bay, just broke his neck, and
Yeah, it
had
happens.
no income. I mean, we had to, we were fortunate to be able to help Chris and just so many other people. It's an amazing thing what everybody collaboratively does. It's not about any one person. It's about a whole group from every member that comes there. You're a part of it. You are a part of it. If you come to the CAC, that means you are a part of what happens
Giving back.
for
Absolutely.
these people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is the year I'm going to sign up, and what a great cause to, yeah, put your money towards. It's not going towards anything bad. It's only helping. So I can't wait to be a part of that.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. Really, really, really awesome. And we need to get your dad, and people have lobbied us a lot, and we've had a lot of suggestions for the British Bulldogs to go into our Hall of Fame. We have our own CAC Hall of Fame, so once you're honored, you go into our CAC Hall of Fame, and you're in there forever. And we definitely have the Bulldogs together on our radar very, very soon.
Yeah, look forward to that. So I can't wait to check it out this year and every year forward.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That's
looking
awesome.
back at your youth, what was it like growing up in the business, being just a young man with such stardom? Was it a lot of pressure, including the schedule?
Mm, I don't know if I would call it pressure. Yeah, sometimes it was pressure. It was always pressure to perform, pressure to be on time, but there was a lot of fun. I mean, as long as you were a responsible person, it was pretty easy. And teaching responsibility is, it's like kids don't come with instructions, and sometimes it's hard to teach them responsibility. But I learned at a very young age when I got busted. I got busted taking food stamps to the U-Save grocery store, and they called me all kinds of names and really belittled me. And I didn't like being poor. I didn't like eating spam, and I didn't like eating powdered milk and powdered eggs. But I had wonderful parents, and it was just that my dad was a carpenter, and thank God he's still alive and 92 and still going strong. But he, the union went on strike, and for 6 months, that's what
Yeah.
we were getting. So growing up tough is a good thing. It really is. I
Hmm.
kind of regret our children knew that we didn't have to want. Um, I always saved my money, and my wife is will as well, so it really helped. She was, um, it was a good combination. So it worked out. It worked out good. We I've enjoyed life. My life has been a wonderful life. I thank God for it every day, and I feel like I'm just really getting started. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to make the Cauliflower Alley Club, and it's not about me; it's about the whole mission. Because everybody that likes professional wrestling, everybody, AEW, WWE, NW, all of them should be so exuberant about helping the CAC because we are the most efficient, effective 501c3 charity on the planet. And there's nobody helping our guys, our people. And
Yeah.
these are the people that they wouldn't be making a living. They wouldn't have their banners there without these people collaboratively. Because all these people played a role in making the WWE what it is. They played a role in making the AEW, every New Japan, all of them. They all played a role. So I'm just passionate that this needs to be more. I'll give you a quick example. Um, Claude Patterson, Thunderbolt Patterson, is a wonderful friend, wonderful guy that I looked up to when I was in Louisiana in Bill Watts's territory, my first territory in the territory days, and he was very kind to me. And it's not that he is starving or anything, but he's on Social Security, and it'd be nice to be able to give him, send him a few $1,000 to say, here, um, take your family out, do something that you wanted to do, that you've wanted to do. You're 80 years old, do something that you wanted to do that you can't do.
Yeah.
It'd be wonderful to be able to do that. And as long as somebody asked, you're within your 501c3 guidelines, as long as they're not millionaires and just, trying to scam you, which we always check for. But it'd be nice to be able to help other people out,
Yeah.
all the people, a lot
In
more
a
than
business where they've, putting their body on the line and just risked it all and
right. We're
for,
all
for the
banged
business,
up.
for the love of the business.
Yeah, exactly. For the love of the business, they've sacrificed, and
Sacrificed,
so
yeah.
everybody that's cheered for them, anybody that has gotten joy out of wrestling, if you can afford $5, if you can afford $10, if you can afford $100, we have a donate button on our website. Please donate, and I promise you, there are 4 different eyes besides an accountant, and besides if we ever got audited, as I said, we are squeaky clean. WWE actually has looked at our books to make sure what we do, because they didn't want to help, because they buy a table, they fly some talent, they do some different things for us, which we're very appreciative for. But again, everybody should be doing that. But they wanted to make sure that we were up and up. And when I came in, I turned this into an entire business, from flow charts, bylaws, policies, and procedures. You know, it's not Brian Blair. It's a group. It's an executive board. It's an advisory board. It's a volunteer board. It's people that all collaboratively get together, for the mission. And it's just a tremendous organization, and it needs to blossom.
Yes. It sounds like you've made such a difference within your time there. So that's wonderful.
I appreciate it. Never
So I
know.
know
Maybe.
that you have a movie today and we have to wrap it up here soon, but I will get through a few more questions before I have to
Okay.
let you go.
Sure.
Is there, looking back at your life now, is there any advice you would have given a younger you that you wish you had known?
Um,
It sounds like you had your head on pretty straight. So,
yeah. I have some parental advice.
yeah.
It's okay to raise your voice, but don't ever scream at your kids. And I'm guilty of that before. I've been come off the road and just been tired and upset, and
Hmm.
they're not listening to their mom, and stuff's happening, and rather than screaming at them saying, God dang, what are you doing? Outsmart them,
Yeah.
outsmart them. Hey guys, hey girls, dog, honey, come here, I want to talk to you. you know Sit down for a minute. Look at that. Was that really the right thing to do?
Yeah.
If you were a mommy or daddy, would you want your child to do that? Reason with them.
Yes.
Don't ever drink in front of them. So many of my friends, um, I even drank. I never did drugs or anything like that around my kids, but
Hmm.
I see people doing drugs and drinking around their kids. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got to give them a chance. Don't. They're going to want to emulate you.
It
So
just becomes the norm. Yeah.
yeah. So those are when I look back, and if I wanted to change things, I wouldn't have gotten so upset when the kids did something wrong. And I coached sports for. I coached baseball for 20 seasons. I coached wrestling. Been a coach for a long, long time. And I don't know. I've always found that reasoning with kids is a lot better than screaming at them. Screaming at them
Absolutely.
just dejects them, and they build up a shell, and it's not good when you try to outsmart them, and it's like when somebody is a butthead to you. If you kill them with kindness,
Yeah.
they really don't have a defense. What are they going to do? When you're smiling, yeah, okay, and you don't get upset back when they're upset. And it's hard, believe me, it's hard to do that. But if you can master that, Bronwyn, you'll master the psychology that most people only dream of.
Absolutely. I know, not like I'm yelling at my kids, but if I ever did, um, I always regret it immediately after. So it's just like,
Sure.
it
Yeah.
doesn't help. It doesn't feel good on the parent. So I'm going to take your advice and try to outsmart my little cheeky
Yeah.
7-year-old. He's
That's right.
getting there. Yeah.
Oh gosh. How old are
He's
your children?
so sweet. My oldest just turned 18. So that's legal age in Canada. Yeah, and then my little one will be 7 next month, so she's very sweet, a great little girl, they both are, but the little one's starting to get a little sassy, so
Ooh, well, that's how they are.
but
That's how
I have a
they
few fan questions for you. What
okay.
backstage role deserves more credit, in your
What
opinion?
backstage rule deserves more
Yeah.
credit?
Just something more behind the scenes or
Respect, um, respect everyone.
yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're doing a favor for you. If an old timer walks in, thank him. Be respectful. Um, Respect is, I mean, I see a lot of it, but it's something that every single person should have. If you were taught by Steve Kern, um, Steve Kern was Skinner and Doink the Clown.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends. If
Yeah.
you were taught by Steve and went through school like the Bellas, like CM Punk, like all those people, so many, it's like over half the WWE roster went through Steve, and much of the AEW went through Steve Kern. And, all those guys and girls, all of them, all the talent, they all have respect.
Yeah. To respect everyone.
Yes. Yes.
It's key. Now, I'm not sure your knowledge on belts, wrestling belts, but someone's wanting to know your opinion on what is the most beautiful wrestling belt, in your opinion.
To me, I always liked the red belt that Jack Briscoe had, the NWA World Heavyweight title, the 10 pounds of gold, and he had the only red strap, and it had his name on it, Jack Briscoe. And I love Jack. He was one of my mentors, a hero. Gerald Briscoe is a tremendous friend of mine. I could more stories than we would ever have time for, but two great guys. But that belt, without a doubt. And my favorite book. Were you going to ask me that?
No. Is it your book?
Thank you. Yes. No, it's not. Probably my favorite book is Natty Neidhart's book.
Yeah.
It's an amazing book. Have you read that book?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. Of course, Jim was such a good friend of mine. They all were. Yeah. But
you guys worked the Heart Foundation a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Killer Bees, yeah.
Yes, we did.
My last fan question is, when do you feel like you were more likely to be injured? House shows, pay-per-views, or with enhancement talent?
With enhancement talent.
Did that happen a lot? Just risk of
a few times. Yeah. A few times, yes. I have never. In 2019, I was having my retirement match. Well, it was the month before I was having my retirement match, and I went to tie up with this green guy, and he stuck me right in the eye on a collar and elbow. Stuck me right on the eye, gouged my eye. My eyeballs bleed. Blood pouring out of my eye from a tie-up. Just a simple lockup, collar and elbow lockup.
On your retirement match? Oh,
it was the month before, leading up to the same one. Yes. Wow. Crazy.
What timing? Yeah, you're like, I guess it's time to call it. So we'll do a little quick, just this or that I like to do just for fun. You tell me which one you gravitate towards more. Would you rather be stung by a bee or have a wasp fly into your wrestling gear mid-match?
Stung by a bee.
Miami Dolphins or Tampa Bay, how do you say this? Buccaneers? Buccaneers? Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Tag team specialist or singles competitor?
Singles competitor.
Fair. In-ring action or behind-the-scenes leadership?
Wow.
Depends when in your life.
They're synonymous. But yeah, probably in-ring action. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Touring the road or content life in Florida?
Wow, that's tough too.
All about timing, right?
Yeah, it's all about timing. Absolutely.
What point in your life? Yeah.
Yes.
Heel or face?
Face.
Perfect. That is all. That wraps up my this or that I like to do just for fun at the end of my interview. Where can people buy your book? What else do you want to plug before we wrap this up?
They can either, if they want it autographed personally, they can go to thekillerbstore.net, or they can get it on Amazon. It's got 5 stars. And I promise, if you don't like my book, truth be told, I will give you double your money back. I will give you double your money back if you answer 4 questions, just so I know you answered the book. I read the book, but
and this was a new release, right? This is a new book.
This was 22 release, but it's timeless. It's a book that is timeless, and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great story. One of the reviews I had said that she wasn't a wrestling fan and read my book and just thought it was amazing, and that's pretty cool when somebody reads your book that's not a wrestling fan.
Yeah, exactly. So there's more appeal than just wrestling in there.
Correct.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Brian, thank you for being here. I can't wait to see you in Vegas. That is August 23rd, 24th, 25th, I believe. Is that the right dates? 24th, 25th, 26th.
24th, 25th, 26th. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But again, there's wrestling matches on Sunday. I just want to say what an honor it's been to be on your podcast, Bronwyn, and
Thank
I
you.
know your dad is very proud of you. We are all proud of you, and
Oh.
keep going, keep moving forward, and I look forward to seeing you in Vegas.
Me too, everyone, as well. If you want to sign up, that's caulifloweralleyclub.org to get your membership today. We would love to see you there. And remember to sign the petition for my dad. There's the QR code on the screen to get him in the WWE Hall of Fame, and subscribe to X Brand Wrestling on YouTube. And thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Brian. We'll see you soon.